Now this is Mughal Empire, the history of Mughal Empire. That is important for your prelims and mains also, including your history optional. What do you have to study here? When you study Mughal Empire, you will have to start with the backgrounds of the foundation of the Mughal Empire. You have to study different sources which deal with this Mughal history. You have to study the chronology of Mughal rulers. You have to study the major battles and treaties. Major battles and treaties signed during the era of each Mughal emperor. You have to study the major events. Major events happened during the tenure of each Mughal emperor. You have to study the visit of the foreigners, the foreign travelers or the scholars and their opinion about the socio-economic, political, cultural life of this Mughal Empire. Okay, you have to study their contributions to culture and art. For example, the growth of architecture, Mughal architecture, art forms, definitely visual arts, especially miniature painting, Mughal miniature painting, their contributions to literature, and most importantly, you have to study the economic history of this Mughal Empire. Then there is a socio-cultural life during this Mughal Empire. These concepts are very, very important for you. One more thing is the different reforms by these Mughal rulers. Okay, these are the things you have to study when you prepare Mughal Empire for your prelims and for your mains examination. Let me show you some previous year's questions here. Yeah, this is with reference to Mughal India. What is or are difference between Jagirdar and this Zamindar? It was a question they asked in 2019. This was a question they asked in 2019. Okay, that's why the economic history, the revenue reforms, land reforms, or the taxation policies of these Mughals very, very important for you. Bencharas during the medieval era generally referred to what? With reference to economic history of medieval India, the term Arhata refers to what? Arrival of Babur in India led to what? Ibadat Khan at Fatehpur Sikri was. From mains, this is one thing you notice that in history optional, these are some questions they asked in history optional. Usually there is a trend like this. Some questions asked in history optional, same are repeated in GS1 mains also. In mains GS1 paper also. Okay, so this is the way they ask questions from this Mughal Empire in the mains. Here we start with the Mughal Empire history. Few things are there which you have to keep in the mind. The golden age, Mughal Empire or the Mughal history, that is regarded as the golden age of North India. Different schools of thoughts are there, different scholars are there, historians are there. They have different opinions about the contributions of these Mughals, but this is a generally accepted view. Yeah, medieval India, Mughal era is regarded as the golden age, especially contributions in architecture, music, painting, literature. Because of that, this is regarded as a golden age in this medieval India. Yeah, of course, the political machinery they developed, or the administrative machinery they developed, that even used in these British times and even in modern times also. The idea of governance. Here you please take care. The first important thing you have to study here is definitely The chronology of the most important rulers of the Mughal Empire. This is very important because UPSC will be shuffling the events and they will confuse you in the prelims. First comes Babur. The founder is Babur, 1526 to 1530, followed by his son Humayun, 1530 to 1540, then his exile, his return, then from 1555 to 1556. After Humayun, it is Akbar, then it is Jahangir, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb. These are the very prominent rulers. These were the very prominent emperors of the Mughal Empire. Yeah, starting with Babur, follow the line. Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb. Okay, Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb. Because chronology related questions UPSC regularly asks in the prelims, so you take care. This concept is important for you and follow this chronology even in the material also. Okay, that is given in the material, follow it. Okay, Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb. Why I am saying this? Because UPSC asks the questions. They will ask the questions like this. For example, the major battles during the time of Babur, the major events. Okay, sometimes they will connect to national and international events. Sometimes they will say the visit of some scholars or historians during the time of this ruler or that ruler. Okay, so similar way, the major events, major battles during time of Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb, you should go through because UPSC will be shuffling it and asking you in the prelims examination. This order you follow. Starting with Babur, we know that Babur was the founder of this Mughal Empire. So we start with Babur. Babur is regarded as the founder of Mughal Empire. And it is very important to know the history of Babur. Babur, his original name is Sahuddin Muhammad, and he was a ruler of Uzbekistan. Okay, he was a ruler of a small kingdom in Uzbekistan, and he is connected to Timur. From his father's side, he was connected with Timur. Timur, known for his like invasions of India in the 14th century, we discussed. Okay, so he was connected with Timur from his father's side, and Genghis Khan through the Mongolian or Mongol ruler, Mongol invader, Genghis Khan. Okay, so he was connected with Genghis Khan from mother's side. So Genghis Khan and history is a very brutal history. Genghis Khan is known for huge invasions or maybe brutal invasions, killing of lakhs of people, etc. Mughals never wanted to know after this Genghis Khan, so they always trace their lineage with this Timur. They wanted to be known as these descendants of this Timur. Okay, and also Timur already invaded India. Okay, in the 14th century we have seen he already invaded India. So Mughals believed they have legitimate right to rule India. Okay, so from father's side they were connected with Timur, from mother's side they were connected with Genghis Khan. Okay, now he succeeded his father Umair Sheikh as the ruler of this Farhana. Farhana, I said it was a small kingdom in this eastern Uzbekistan. Okay, so he was a ruler from Uzbekistan. He was a ruler of Farhana. That was a small kingdom in this east Uzbekistan. Now what happened after that? He was defeated by his distant relative and he lost his kingdom. Babur lost his kingdom. Then he captured Kabul. That was in 1504. He captured Kabul in 1504. Then he felt or he had interest in conquering this India. Now the question is, why this Babur interested to conquer India? Why Babur interested to conquer India? It's a question. Why Babur interested to conquer India? Multiple reasons are there. Multiple reasons are there. One reason definitely that was Yeah, one reason that was definitely it was the wealth of the nation. Adam Smith, the wealth of the nation, the wealth of the nation. Yeah, that is the wealth of India that fascinated him. Wealth of the nation. That is one reason. Then this loose defense in the frontier, loose defense in the frontier, northwest frontier, loose defense. Another reason I would say that there is conflicting rulers of India, conflicting rulers of India. Then maintaining huge army and huge bureaucracy. The problem is Babur is maintaining huge army, huge bureaucracy, and the poverty-stricken Kabul is not sufficient to feed his army, feed his bureaucracy. So he wanted a very resourceful region. Okay, he wanted control over the resourceful region. Afghanistan or Kabul is not sufficient to feed his army. It was not sufficient to feed his bureaucracy. Okay, so he wanted to maintain huge army and a huge bureaucracy or his administrative chain, but the meager income from Kabul was not sufficient for that. Okay, also he was looking for a good shelter and regular income. Also he felt that he had a legitimate right, he had a legitimate he had a legitimate right to control India, because once it was under this Timur, it was under Timur Shah, so he felt he had a legitimate right to control this India. Also another reason was definitely the invitation from Indian rulers. Indian rulers invited Babur to come and invade India. Okay, come and invade India. Okay, because they were fed up with this Ibrahim Lodi. Even his own provincial governors invited Babur to invade India because they were tired, fed up of this Ibrahim Lodi and his arrogant attitude. So because of these reasons, wealth of India, loose defense in the northwest frontier, conflicting rulers of India, this maintenance of huge army, huge bureaucracy, and looking for a good shelter, regular income, legitimate right, he is thought like a legitimate right to control India, and invitation from Indian rulers. These are some factors which attracted Babur to invade India. So he launched many expeditions between 1519 to 1523. His Timur legacy, he felt once Timur conquered India, so he has the right to conquer India. Then meager income from Kabul is not sufficient to maintain his army. According to Abul Fasil, the historian Abul Fasil's opinion, meager income from Kabul was not sufficient to maintain his army. Then invitation from Indian rulers. Invitation from Indian rulers. These are multiple reasons why this Babur invaded India. So these points you must keep in the mind, because UPSC will ask question like this: which one of the following is not a reason or is a reason for Babur's conquest of India? You must know what are the reasons or what are not the reason for the conquest of Babur on India. Okay, this is very important. Sultans of Delhi. When Babur invaded India, the situation in India was like this. Ibrahim Lodi was the ruler of Delhi. Ibrahim Lodi, the ruler belonging to Lodi dynasty, was ruling this Delhi. Gujarat had a ruler. Malwa was also a separate kingdom. Then Rana Sanga was the ruler of Mewar. Then Vijayanagara, Krishna Devaraya was ruling this Vijayanagara Empire. Yes. Then Bengal, Deccan, they had independent rulers. Then this was the situation, this was the scenario, different rulers were there. Why I am saying this, UPSC asked this question also: when Babur invaded India, who was the ruler of this Vijayanagara Empire? Or when Babur invaded India, who was the ruler at Delhi? Okay, this is the way they asked questions. So you take a Bengal or this Deccani Sultanate, they were independent sultanates. Vijayanagara ruled by this Krishna Devaraya, and this Mewar was ruled by Rana Sangha. Okay, Mewar ruled by Rana Sangha. So this was the situation Babur invaded. He occupied Lahore. The governor, this provincial governor of this Ibrahim Lodi, Daulat Khan Lodi invited Babur. His problem was like this: all these provincial governors were totally fed up with this Ibrahim Lodi and his arrogant attitude and his policies, etc. So they invited Babur. The thought was like this: Babur will come and play this 2020 match and will return to his homeland. This was the thought. They never ever felt that Babur gonna be the emperor of this India, or he will be establishing his empire in India. They never thought. So Babur was invited. Babur came 21st April 1526. Yeah, he fought the first Panipat battle. Take care. He fought the first Panipat battle. Okay, Babur came. Babur fought the first Panipat battle. Now the question is, why empire-shaking battles were fought at Panipat? This was the main question. Why empire-shaking battles? Panipat 1, 2, 3. Why such battles fought at Panipat? Because Panipat was, a plain terrain. It's suitable for fighting wars. Proximity to Delhi. It is very near to Delhi. So ruler of Delhi will be able to supply his resources, army, military, etc. to this battlefield. It is connecting through Grand Trunk Road, the imperial highway from the northwest to east. You could see that the Grand Trunk Road is passing through. Again, many excellent artisans, craft workers are there. Metallurgists are, their guild are existing there. So you can make these very stronger tools, weapons easily, transport them easily. And this Panipat is also receiving very little rainfall. So again, it is suitable for battles. So all the way, Panipat is important. That's why these battles were fought at Panipat. And in the first Panipat of 1526, Babur turned victorious. Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi, and that was the official beginning of Mughal Empire in India. Okay, Panipat battle 1526 marked the official beginning of this, the official entry of this Babur in India, which you take it. Yeah, some reasons why this Babur was successful in India. The reason for his success is he had a very advanced artillery. His cavalry section, his horse soldiers, his artillery section, his gunpowder, etc. It was excellent. Okay, it was excellent. He used gunpowder extensively in the battlefield. His artillery segment was superior. Cavalry segment was superior, because of which Babur turned victorious in this battle. Now you are in a position to answer this question, all of you. The arrival of Babur in India led to introduction of gunpowder in the Indian subcontinent, introduction of arch and dome in the region's architecture, establishment of Timurid dynasty in the region. You have to answer it. Arrival of Babur in India led to introduction of gunpowder in the Indian subcontinent, introduction of arch and domes in the region's architecture, establishment of Timurid dynasty in the region. Introduction of gunpowder that already happened much centuries earlier. Okay, with the very Turkish Arabic invasions of India, they used gunpowder here. It is not Babur. Babur came in 16th century only, but it is already used here in India in the 11th to 12th centuries AD. So you can eliminate that answer, that statement. If you eliminate that, you just see, this is not a self-made question, this is a UPSC question. You just see how beautifully elimination strategy is applied here. You know the first statement is wrong, you eliminated choice A, choice C, choice D, then you go to the answer, which is 3 only is your answer. Arch and domes introduced in the region, that is by Delhi Sultanate. It is not by Babur. Then establishment of Timurid dynasty in the region, that was with the arrival of this Babur. 3 only is your answer here. Okay.